यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. So today we shall be discussing a very important and a very popular verse of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 4, Shlok number is 7, and the chapter is entitled Transcendental Knowledge. As already discussed, that this divine knowledge is coming from a higher source and it is free from any kind of defect, and the Lord Himself is delivering this message, so it is altogether very special. Even though whatever the Lord has said, He has already spoken it in Vedas, in Puran, in Upanishad, and many great rishis have compiled this knowledge in the form of Vedanta Sutras and many stories and Samhitas which these rishis have written. And this Gita is also a part of Mahabharat, which was written by Ved Vyasji for the people who cannot read Ved, especially the business class people, the working class people, and people who live in home. So it is mainly for them. But Bhagavad Gita, as you know, is the essence of all the Vedic literature. Vedascha sarve ahmeva vedyo vedanta kritved vid vedichaham. Krishna says the goal of Veda is me, because I am the compiler and I am the knower of these Vedas. So Vedic knowledge is very important. So today's verse, Krishna is saying that whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious principle or practices, O descendants of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself in this world. So whenever the main religion is distorted by the people here or any king here, then I descend. So what is the main religion? What is it? What is that dharma? So the word is used as dharma. Dharma actually means the eternal nature of a living entity. So what is that dharma? Dharma is to love God. In other words, to serve God. Love and service goes hand in hand. So the principle is to love God. So in order to love God, there is a system which is mainly bhakti. Sadhan bhakti is a system where a teacher accepts a student and imparts the Vedic knowledge, the knowledge of the devotion, knowledge of bhakti. But when a king or some powers try to hinder that, try to break it, and there are very few followers, then God comes and removes such kings from the society and thrown uh, another, kingly person, like He did with Yudhishthir. He put Yudhishthir in the throne so that the all citizens take advantage of his religious personality, his truthful personality, and follow the eternal religion nicely. So this is what is the real religion is. And since God comes, He is not descends in a new body. So whatever form God has, we see when He incarnates, it is His eternal body. Because as previously spoken by the Lord, that He doesn't change His body. His body and His soul are identical. Our body and our soul are two different things. Actually, soul is the reality. Body is just a temporary covering, temporary clothes of the soul. So, but with the God, this doesn't go. His body and soul are one object. So that is what we should understand, and that is what we should appreciate, that He comes in His original form. So God incarnates um, in many species also, and His incarnation types are also various. Like there is a Swayam Roop, it means that He has an original form, and that original forms sometimes become many. So when that original form becomes many, like when Krishna was dancing with so many gopis, and these gopis were great rishis, hermits in previous life, and they did many penances, they did many austerities, many sadhana to achieve the Lord, to develop that love. So finally, when they got this spiritual form of a gopi, then they all had desire to dance with Krishna. So Krishna took unlimited forms, as many gopis, as many Krishna. So at that time, so many original forms are known as Swam Prakash, Swam manifestation. So similarly, God has many. Sometimes he become Vishnu, so that is known as Prabhav Prakash, and sometimes he changes color. He becomes Balram. It is known as Vaibhav Prakash. Similarly, God has Purusha Avatar. When there is a time to create the material creation, then he first creates elements by becoming, taking an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, whose name is first Vishnu, first Purusha Avatar, also named as uh, Karanodakshai Vishnu. So Karanodakshai Vishnu is the first incarnation of Lord Krishna in the form of first Purush, who creates elements. And then he further creates so many planets. And then it's known as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, second Purush Avatar. And then he creates third incarnation as third Purush Avatar, known as Shirodakshai Vishnu. And in the form of Shirodakshai Vishnu, he maintains that particular universe by taking different avatars again. So similarly, he has Leela avatar, he has Guna avatar, he has Manvantar avatar. So in a day of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantar, and each Manvantar there are 71 yugas. So many Manvantars in a day of a Brahma. So in every Manvantar, Krishna descends, and in every yuga he descends. And sometimes one personality is given so much power, God enters in some living entity to execute a particular to achieve a. So that avatar is known as Shakti Avesh avatar, like Narad Muni, like Prithu Maharaj, like Parshuram, like Vyasdev, like four sons of Brahma, like that. There are so many incarnations. But Krishna sometimes comes as himself. In Dwapar Yuga, he came as himself. His original form is a cowherd boy. And in Kali Yuga, he comes as a Brahmana person, a Mahaprabhu form, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this form is also eternal form. It is not that Krishna has taken a. He simultaneously, these forms exist. So in that form, every incarnation has a mission. Like Mahaprabhu incarnation mission had two missions. One is external, to give this love for God by spreading Krishna consciousness in the form of chanting Hare Krishna and revealing the various holy places like Vrindavan, Mayapur, etc. And many scriptures were written by Mahaprabhu's disciples like Rup Sanatana and Raghunath Goswami. So this is an external reason for Lord's arrival, and then one is internal reason. So every incarnation has some internal, some external, and so many things Lord does at one time. That is his nature. So internal reason for Mahaprabhu's incarnation was that he wanted to relish the sweetness of his love between him and his devotees. So Sri Radha, who is a prominent topmost devotee of Krishna, what kind of greatness her love has, what kind of pleasure she receives when she sees Krishna, and what is the greatness of Krishna's beauty. All these three things were simultaneously relished by Krishna in the form of Lord Chaitanya. So these are the internal mission, internal reasons for Lord's arrival. So there are so many things that Lord does, but the most important is whenever there is a problem in the eternal religion, he descends. So there is no need to worry because Krishna is always there. He's there because He is omnipresent, omniscient, so He can do everything. But the only difficulty is that we don't, we are not obedient to Krishna. We run after material desires to fulfill material desires. We think that material objects will give us pleasure. We think that material people will give us pleasure. And by serving material things, we try to find permanent happiness, which is utter foolishness. So the only happiness, which is our birthright, is serving Krishna, seeing Krishna everywhere, and experiencing that happiness of being a servant of the Lord, being the servant of the servant of the servant of everything. So this is Krishna consciousness, and this is the message that Srila Prabhupada and great Vaishnava Acharyas gives to people. So everybody should chant the name of Krishna every day, at least 1 hour. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In that way, gradually, all material desires will vanish in no time, and one will relish the spiritual bliss just by thinking about Krishna, just by talking about Krishna, just by serving Krishna. So this is the essence of this verse. That do not worry. Whenever there is a problem, I will come and protect you. So thank you for listening. Hare Krishna.